Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to special coverage here on WCNC about the Queen's funeral. We've come off the air now. We broadcast this morning from 4:30 to 5:30. Today's show has taken over now on broadcast on WCNC Charlotte, but we still wanted to bring you Wake Up Charlotte to go and talk about the morning ad because this is going to be basically unlike anything anyone has seen before. Yes. When you talk about 2,000 world leaders all in one spot. Right. There in central London. You're probably watching as we speak, probably watching it on WCNC Charlotte right now, even as we speak. But boy, if you watched any of the coverage over the weekend, over the last week, they finally wrapped up the lines.
I can't believe the number of people that stood in line 10 to 12 hours. Even David Beckham was out there for 12 hours. I mean, just everyone. That's the respect that she had. You don't realize the power that she had, the overwhelming respect and love that the British people had for the Queen. And you know, if you think about it, 70 years she was ruling over England, and almost everyone, that was the only only royalty that they ever
knew. Yeah. Exactly.
How many people in their lifetime know the Queen of England? At some point, some sort of coverage, and it really is kind of mind-boggling how quickly the news drops, where we had heard that, hey, the Queen's health is dropping, and then since this broke, well, all respect, of course, to the royal family, but this is also quite the setup because this was her plan. Like, she's been planning this. This is how she wanted all the processions that's going on, and it all leads up to one last day. That this is exactly how she wanted to go out. So.
Yeah, decades in the making. I found myself going down a rabbit hole this weekend in old British documentaries about the royal family, and it makes you appreciate her and her role so much more. You know, not only within the context of British politics, but also within her family. I mean, when you look at her father and her uncle and abdication and things like that, she came around at the perfect time for that country, and she was exactly what they needed.
Yes. She would be the last queen for many years, because if you succession line, it's all male, so it maybe could be 50, 60 years, and we don't know in reality how long the monarchy actually will be around. There are people in England who are saying that maybe this is the time to make that change away from a monarchy to a constitutional monarchy, but to change from that. It's a tradition in England, has been for...
Their roles are largely ceremonial at this point.
They are. And in this situation with the change to a king, he's been much more active politically, especially the environment that he's had a lot to say. But he did mention, I think, in one speech that he was going to step back from that.
He did.
Being such an advocate for climate change and
he's also
world responsibility.
One of the least popular, at least according to polls, of the royal family. Assuming you are watching it, and while you watch us at the same time, just a quick rundown. Coming up in just a few minutes, a gun carriage carrying the Queen's coffin is actually going to go from Westminster Hall, just a couple of blocks over from that in London, to Westminster Abbey. Then the funeral actually begins around 11 a.m. Here, Charlotte time.
They're 4 hours ahead of us over there.
So that will be happening at 11 a.m. And then, of course, we'll have our news coming up, expected to be at noon today. Of course, things may be changing. But we should say President Biden is there, his wife.
Everyone's there.
There's queens from around the world.
They're really, I'm not sure if there's anything ever been quite like this, at least in our lifetime.
I don't think so. I mean, I just look back at time, even some of the, even when President Kennedy passed away, there weren't as many worldwide figures who came to his funeral here in the United States. And this is historical when you think about it.
To reign for that long, how many lives the Queen has impacted.
There's not another life on this planet like hers.
No.
Like, as far as like the length of it, the scope and scale and reach, and the people she knew. I mean, when you think about, here locally we talk about how she'd become really good buds with Billy Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Exactly.
It's just like it's strange to wrap your head around. And it was her great grandmother, for whom Art Town is named after.
Yes.
It was actually from Mecklenburg, Germany.
Germany, exactly. And it's crazy to think one person and one family has so many ties to so many things that billions around the world have a connection to.
And admit it, how many people, once this happened, went back and looked at the lineage of the royal family?
Totally.
And I didn't realize it went back to 800 BC. So just looking how everything came to that point, past the Queen Charlotte and the King George era, it's incredible. And like as Larry says, where do we go from here? But it's all in the moment, of course.
I'm not sure there's been that much royalty to stay in power. Haile Selassie of Ethiopia and King Phumthifo Naijalit of Thailand, both were two
long-running monarchs.
But not as much as 70 years.
That's incredible.
Incredible. And the family, to your point, how long they've been serving. There's probably not a family that we know more in world history than we do.
All the way down to the grandchildren. By the way, the weather is going to be okay. It's in the 50s right now, but the high should be in the low 60s. They're not expecting rain. So weather-wise, it's typical London weather for this time.
The Queen planned that too.
There you go.
I'm sure she did.
That's right. That's right. So we know you're probably watching it on TV, and we'll let you continue to watch it here on WCNC Charlotte. We just wanted to chime in for a quick little Wake Up Charlotte to go on a Monday morning, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning for another edition, although probably later, usually around 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday for another Wake Up Charlotte to go. Have a great day, everybody.
See you then.